Hey everyone, it's Hippie here at Hippie's Common Sense Corner with this week's upload called Stories About Last Call. But today is Thursday, April 1st, 2021. Before we get started, I'd like to shout out a couple things. One, as you can tell, Apex isn't here today. He won't be back here till April 25th. And he'll be here for about 5-6 days. And I want to also apologize because when we did the other uploads, we said that we were going to do 2 or 4 a week in the upcoming weeks. Well, with us first, just starting this, we wasted a lot of valuable time setting this up. And we wasted a lot of valuable time, and I'm really sorry about that. But if you want to check, if you miss Apex, go and check him out on his channel at Apex the Original. You can also catch him. We have one video up on our new channel called Hippie and Apex Multimedia, where we review. We have one upload up there where we're reviewing, talking about wrestling, how it's so different from when he was a kid to when I was a kid, and how it's even different now. How we're such big wrestling fans to where I don't even watch it anymore. And another reason I'm doing this one about last call is, I believe on Saturday's upload, I said I would, and plus, I couldn't believe it. I got, I believe, 38 between emails and Facebook. I got 38 messages, 33 through the email, 5 through the Facebook, and I'm telling you, a lot of them were asking, who's this last call I keep talking about? Well, I kind of told you he was my brother, and I said there's more to it, and on Saturday I said I'd explain it to you, and there's a lot of stories, and I'm telling you, I know when I tell these stories, a lot of you guys are going to say, you're going to be convinced they're made up. Trust me, they're not. I have a great imagination, but it isn't that good. If it was, I'd be a famous author like Stephen King, John Grisham, Stephen J. Cannell, and any other great author out there, okay? But these stories are very, very true. And if there's anybody out there that knows me from back in the day, the 90s, talk to them. They'll tell you. They'll probably tell you stories I forgot. As long as you're talking to people that aren't my family, because even most of my family don't even believe this is true. That last call passed back in on March 10th, 2014. I had nobody with credit to say yes, this did happen. But they're true. When you hear them, at first you're going to be like, yeah, right. But then if you really think about it and use common sense, you're like, they'd have to be. He's not that smart to come up with stuff like this. And another way I could prove it, that's why I have no teeth. That's why I was shot 3 times, stabbed 4. I was beat up by 7 people with chains, pipes, tire irons, and baseball bats, left in the alley to die. I've actually, not counting with my strokes, but I have died 4 times, and I've had last rites read to me like 8 or 9 times. I've been in comas. If you take all the times I was in comas between car accidents, motorcycle accidents, fighting, falling through roofs, I probably spent a good 4 years of my life in comas. I couldn't even guess on what I was, how long I've been in hospitals for, in 50, going on 53 years. Next month, May, I'll be 53. I know I look like 103 or 83 or 93. Trust me, I feel like I'm 103. But that besides the point. I appreciate the emails and the messages on Facebook. But before you go any further, please hit the like, dislike, leave comments below. If you like it or if you have a suggestion, that's fine. Tell me to kiss your ass. Tell me to drop dead. I'll tell you what. Why don't you register with YouTube, subscribe, and leave comments below. If I'm not doing that great, leave the comments. Maybe I can do better. The more people we get, the more we can do. A lot of the emails, the messages were great. I want to give a shout out to Jack Mars. He left me a nice message that should be showing up shortly, saying how we draw you in. If that's true, great. And I actually have big plans for this channel. I would like to eventually do vlogs, podcasts. I want to take you guys around and show you this city, and if we get big enough and get enough sponsors, maybe I'll come to your city. Like we said on that one upload, the sky's the limit of what we can do with this. And I'm not trying to, I know it seems like I'm trying to piss people off. I'm not really trying to piss people off. I'm trying to wake people up here. I'm trying to bring common sense back, because that's what's wrong with this country. Nobody has common sense. Nobody wants to take responsibility anymore either. So that's all I'm trying to do. So if you have a topic or a situation that's pissing you off, or you think you're being untreated fair, put it down below. I'll probably talk about it. Maybe I might even have a solution, help you come up with a solution to get rid of the problem. And hopefully I can do it without you guys, somebody going to jail. What I'm hoping will happen is that I get more subscribers, more thumbs up, more comments, and I get more, get sponsors. When I had the channel first, I had a sponsor. Well, my dumbass, I bought the business back, and I'm changing a lot of things. It'll be a few months, probably anywhere from 2 to 8 months before I'll get the business back up again. But if I can get sponsors, I'll be throwing contests around, like I said on that one. If I give a bad piece of information and you prove us wrong, you may get a gift, because eventually I'm going to have merch and everything. But I need to be able to justify it before I do it. I'm not going to have all this merch and nobody wants it. Hopefully I'm going to have t-shirts with good, cool sayings. Maybe a hat with cool sayings. But this channel is to wake people up and to have fun and someplace to vent. I'll tell you what, there was a while back I wish I had a channel like this going too. Because I get frustrated very easy. And now that last call is gone, he was always like my true beacon. And now let's get going with last call. Oh, another thing I wanted to say about Apex first. Like I said, he isn't here. He won't be here till the 25th, okay? I talked to him today, and I told him, this spot will always be his. I will not replace him. I'll not ever put anybody in his spot. unless he asks me to or he walks away. Okay? But I did let him know if I can find somebody here, down here, because he lives 81 miles away. The other day I said 80 to 85. I checked MapQuest. It says 81.7. So I'm going to try to find somebody here that can help show me how to upload these. But he'll always have a spot here, okay? And because it's really bothering me that on our first upload we said we were going to do 2 to 4 a week, which we will be doing once we work out a routine. Because he'll be down for like 5-6 days every month. There's 4 or 5 weeks sometimes, 4 weeks for sure, sometimes 5 weeks between when he goes back and goes home and comes back. So I figure if there's 4 weeks, 2 a week minimum, we'd have to do 8 to 10, maybe 12. So the day he comes back, we upload 2, and then we'll time set the rest. So you'll get your 2 to 4, maybe even more. If I have somebody here, we can do 5 a week even. You tell me, yeah, I'm here, but this is you guys' channel. You can tell me, help, guide me in what direction you want me to take this. If you want me to take it over a cliff, let me know. That'd be a hell of a video, and watching me go over a cliff. But no, but seriously, you can't hurt my feelings. Now let's get to the last call. Oh no, I want to get back to those emails again. I'm sorry. Like I said, they were asking who this last call is. I got a lot of nice emails. I wish they were down in the comments. A lot of them, people are saying that the topics we're talking about are interesting. Most of them are agreeing with what I had to say. Maybe not agreeing 100%, but they did agree with the basic idea of it. And that's what I want. I want debates. I want people debating again. When you wake up on Monday morning, go to work, and you guys are around next to the water cooler, I want you guys thinking about what I said, okay? And then maybe it'll get contagious and somebody might say, hey, yeah, Hippie was right. Apex was right. Hell, they're both right. We need to get our people to do this, or we have to start doing this. So let's saying that, let's get on with it. Last call. Last call. One of a kind. Well, actually 2 of a kind, because even though he was actually my uncle, he was my dad's brother. I only have one full-blooded uncle. I have a lot of step-uncles, but no, my dad only had one brother. My mother had no brothers or sisters. I have a lot of half-brothers and sisters, but I only have one real brother. And I'm saying this because what's so funny is my dad and last call were the only 2 brothers, okay? And they fought all the time. I have a lot of half brothers and sisters, but I have one real brother, and we don't get along. It's something in the Butler blood. We try to get along from time to time, but within 10 to 20 minutes we land up pissing each other off. So, and that's it, I guess, so, but, people can't. One thing about me, you either love me or hate me. There's no in between. Okay? Last call had a really good saying. Because, we'd go to the bar, we'd meet women, and then you see them, keep running into them and start talking and maybe start dating or, seeing each other on a kind of a regular basis. But before you get to that point, these women would go to last call and say, what's your brother like? And you go, huh? What do you mean, what is he like? Well, tell me about him. And he'd chuckle again and go, huh? You can't explain Hippie, you have to experience them. I can tell you I'm a dying breed, I'm the last of my type, really. I'm 100% old school. I told people back, like even in my 30s, when I was in my 30s, when I was managing a bar, whatever. People that were older than me said, "Hippie, you're lying about your age." Why? Why would that be? Well, because one, you have the name Hippie. Two, you know too much about the 50s and 60s music. I mean, I love all kinds of music: jazz, blues, rock. I'm not into that real heavy music, that hate crap. Some rap I can tolerate. It's not my favorite, but I can tolerate it. Okay, I'm not too much into polka, but I'm into country. I'm into rock and roll, soft rock if I'm in the right mood. I don't want to say I hate opera. All I'll say about that is I don't understand it. And I say that because Queen has the album Night at the Opera. That's opera. It's rock and roll opera, but it's opera. I understand that kind of opera. But that screeching shit that makes your ears bleed and your eyes pop out, I have difficulty with that. But my favorite music of all is Motown. Give me, if I'm in a bad mood, throw some Temps on, But my brother was the same way. Now let's get about the last call. Like I said, he's my uncle. What happened was I left home a little bit before I was 18. And I was a punk. When I was a kid in grade school, I was a good kid in grade school. I did my homework. I did decent grades. If I did something trouble, the teacher yelled at me. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Now I wouldn't do it again. Then I got to 7th grade middle school. That was the year they changed it from junior high to middle school down in Milwaukee. Well, then I must have been possessed because I'd fight anybody, I'd fight all the students. I'd fight the teacher. I mean, I hit the teacher. I took the assistant principal, the 7th grade assistant principal, threw him up against the window. I threatened to fucking beat all the asses of the central office. Because back then, if you got suspended, they could only suspend you for 3 days. Well, they found a way to get around that with me. Central office. Then you're suspended until they have the meeting with central office, your principal, and your parents and you. And that's what they do to get rid of me for a few weeks. And they told me, my mom, that, if he doesn't start doing better, you're not going to let him see his father. I jumped up and said, who the fuck do you think you are? You tell my mom to not let me see my father. I said, I'll fucking knock you all out. The assistant principal wanted to grab me. I grabbed him. I threw him right up against his window. Broke 2 windows, and then, you got the upper window, lower window that cranks out. And then that fucking bar went out. The window that cranked out went all the way down. But that's where I was, okay? Not proud of it. But even at 13 years old, I didn't take shit from nobody. I'm respectful. I try to be nice. I'll help out anybody. Till you fuck with somebody I love. Fuck with me, I don't give a shit. Fuck with me, I don't, you fuck with me, I'll take it for so long and I'll stand up for myself. Maybe, you fuck with me and then you apologize, I might let it slide. But you fuck with somebody I love, well then that's different. You don't get a second chance, okay? But, no, I left home and last call at noon, if I didn't have somebody controlling me, I'd be in a hell of a lot worse trouble than I was in. Well, we were uncle and nephew, but we were actually like twins. And what was so funny is, he was born in November of 50, I was born in May of 68. So there was like 17 and a half years between us, okay? And, oh my god, it's this funny. But what was funny is, you took his baby picture, my baby picture, you couldn't tell us apart. You looked at him at 18, me at 18, you couldn't tell which one it really was. I mean, I think our parents could. My dad could. I think his mom could. My grandma. But his girlfriends would always confuse us. When we lived in Cudahy, where I live now, him and I lived above a bar on Plankinton Avenue. And I'd be at the bar or up in my room, or our room, or his room, whatever, because we each had a room. And he'd be walking down the street, the cops would pull up and say, "Hippie, come here." He'd say, "I'm not Hippie." "Yeah, you are." "No, I'm not. I'm last call." Bullshit. He'd pull out his picture. "Oh, yeah, you are." "Oh, I'm sorry. Where's your brother?" "How the fuck do I know? I'm not his keeper." Well, and then if it was the other way around, it would happen to me. Okay? You put us together, you could not confuse us, mix us up. But for some reason, I was 6'2". I think I'm down to 6'1", 6'1.5", but back then I was all of 6'2", 240 pounds. A lot bigger than what I am now. Now I'm pretty big now, but I was a hell of a lot bigger then. My brother was huge, with bodybuilding. But when he was 18, he was 5'11". By that time, he was probably like 5'10", 5'10 and a half. There was somewhat of a difference, and it would confuse us. When we were together, no. And what was so funny, we had the same outlook, the same attitude. We looked a lot alike. It was funny. And then our lights even parallel. Besides that, when he was 19 going on 20, he lived on 24th and Greenfield, above a bar called Chime In. When I was 19 going on 20, he lived above the bar on 24th and Greenfield called Chime In with a girl named Jackie. When I was 19 going on 20, I lived above the same bar, but in the same place he did, but it was a different bar name, and I lived with a girl named Connie. It was like whatever he went through at 20, I went through. What he went through at 27, I went through at 27. It's really funny. And the thing is, when we were together, if we were drunk walking down the street, people jumped us, we would get our ass whipped. But when we were together, you couldn't touch us. Just couldn't. I'm not just trying to act like I'm a big badass here, because I'm not the fighter I used to be. Hell, I can't even move like that. My biggest fight right now is against Arthur. Arthritis is just eating the shit out of me right now. And Father Time. I mean, I've already had 3 strokes. I had probably had over 500 TIAs, and I'm not exaggerating one bit. By the time I was 48, all my teeth were knocked out. I got fake ones coming. They should be here within the next week or so. But like I said, I've been stabbed 3 times, or shot 3, stabbed 4. I was left in the alley, beat up, left in the alley to die. I've actually died 4 times. I've had last rites read 8 times. But it was fun back then. I spent most of the 90s in and out of prison, because what would happen is I'd make parole. Okay, and a lot of people say parole don't work that way. You're right, it doesn't. It really never did. But I'd make parole, because you have to remember, when I was sentenced, when I was found guilty, I was sentenced to 23 months. And I was supposed to go to the county jail, do it in county jail, but because of my record, they wanted me being. Well, when I was found guilty, I was actually 17, but I didn't get transferred to prison till I was 18. Okay, but I spent my 18th birthday in jail. And what would happen is I'd get parole, and then, then I'd fuck it up. And they say, well, then how did you get parole again? Because when I'd fuck up parole, usually I did another charge and I'd get more time. So I'd get, for some reason, they kept giving me parole. I did 11 years. A little over 11 years on and off, because I went in and early, I was found guilty like a month before my 18th birthday, which would have been like April of '86. And I got out. And, well, yeah, the charge happened in '85, but I didn't go to jail till April of '86, and I got out in September, October of '96. Maybe it was like January or February of '97. May of '97, I lost a kidney in a knife fight. And that was because the last call and I weren't talking. If him and I were talking, that probably wouldn't have happened. I really do believe that. But, as much as we loved and respected each other, we'd get on each other's nerves. We'd have to step back for, a little time, like most friends and brothers do. Only trouble is, we were so much alike, we'd have to stay apart for 3-4 years, really. But, if I was going down the street, or he was going down the street, and the other one was going up against 3-4 guys, we would stop. We might not talk to you afterwards. We might say, oh, hey, thanks, fuck you, and get in our vehicles and go the other way, but that wouldn't have happened, The other one would not have gone down, okay? The reason you said we were brothers was he started teaching me home improvement at a pretty young age. And then I left home at 17. And then, after work we'd go to the bars. Well, like I said, he was born in November of '50. I was born in May of '68, so there was like 17 and a half years. And so I was 18, he was like, 35, 36. And we would be talking to girls in their mid-20s, mid to late upper 20s. And he always felt like it made him look too old if I called him uncle. He said, well, why don't we just say we're brothers for a couple of years? Yeah. Well, that was great. Only one thing about it, though, is that we actually became brothers. So, that's the best partner I ever had, best partner I ever bought. I'll tell you, Apex is going to probably come to a very close second. But nobody I'll never get be have a partner like that again, because we were blood. Since he died, I've been looking for a partner like that. I'm like, why can't I find it? No shit. Because we're blood. And I don't get along with too many of my family members. And I'll tell you what. You watch this, hit like, okay? Share it with other people. Get them to hit likes and subscribe. You hit subscribe. And I'll tell you what, I get 500 subscribers or 1,000 likes, I will tell you that story. Why I don't get along with my family. It's that plain, that simple. Because the more people, the more subscriptions I get, the more I can do this. And like I said, out of I got 33 emails, messages through email, 5 through Facebook, and a lot of them might have said, I get off track, or it wasn't that exciting. But the two things they always said, the topics were interesting, and I always brought the funny. I can make a joke out of anything. I was born an all-American punk. I was also born I'm funny. I'm an all-American smartass. I guess that's a punk too these days. I don't know. But enough of that. Let's get about last call. Only time we would get really in a lot of serious trouble with the cops or the law is when we were together. I remember growing up, I had a friend like that. If he went with the other friends, I went with other friends, we would get in trouble. If we were together, we stayed out of trouble. But the last call night was the opposite. Why? Because we were so much alike, okay? But, my stepdad, one of the greatest men I ever met, he passed too. But he was one of the greatest men I've ever met. I was lucky, even though my dad and I didn't talk for 10 years and we didn't get along very much, too often. I was a very lucky guy because I got taught by two very good men. Okay? They both taught me very well. But I remember when I came home for my first bar fight, my stepdad, I had to move in with my mom and stepdad for like 2 weeks until I found a place. Because you got to remember, I was 17, so I couldn't rent a place on my own. I actually had to go to the bar and meet a woman that was 42. I was 18, she was 42, okay? But I had a good job, I was making decent money. And the reason I had to move in with her is because I couldn't get anything in my name. So until I did, I had to move back in with my mom and stepdad, which I, helped them out. And I went out one night, I come home, I went to my old room, the room that was mine when I was growing up. I wake up in the morning, walk out, I had a black nose, fat lip, or black eye, fat lip. I was pretty messed up. And my stepdad goes, "What happened to you?" I said, "I got in the bar fight." He goes, "You better be careful now. You're not a kid. They'll kill you in the bar." I said, "Yeah, Dad, I know. I know that could happen." Like I said, I was like 17, 18 when that happened. But what's so funny, when I was out on my second parole at about 23, 24, I woke up one morning to go to work, and I had to stop by my mom and stepdad for something. I walked in the house, my stepdad, and I had black eye. I had to wear sunglasses to cover my black eye. And back then, if you see me without a black eye, I must have been sick or doing something wrong. I walk in, my stepdad goes, "Now what the hell happened to you?" I said, "I got into a fight." Now we're talking like 6 years later. What comes out of his mouth, he goes, "You better be careful, or you're going to kill somebody." Within a 6-year period. But we're not here to talk about that. And there's just so many stories I could tell you that I actually mix them up. I kind of combine. I get them confused. I might have to do this in 2 or 3 parts, but trust me, it will be interesting. It'll be funny. And I know you're going to think I'm making this crap up. If I could make this crap up, at first you're going to say he's making this shit up, he's lying. But after you get done watching it, go and think about it. use common sense. They're like, there's no way he ain't smart enough to think of something like this, okay? Like the time like I said, he was teaching me how to do home improvement at a young age. By the time I left home, him and I were working together. We were signed on with the company on their payroll, where they took the taxes out. Plus, we did our own work. And back then, because we were younger, in the summer we would work up here, and then you'd get laid off in the winter and you collect unemployment. Well, we were getting max of unemployment at the time, which I think was like $216 a week. When our regular paychecks were our take home through the company alone was anywhere from $1,800 to $3,300 to $3,400 a week. So in the wintertime we'd head south. Okay, rent a cheap place, work as much as we could, and we would come back, and we would come back with a year's worth of pay in our pockets. Because if we were up here or down south, we'd buy cars. Like we'd be down in Nashville, just say, or New Orleans, or somewhere, Florida, wherever we went. We'd rent a place. We're doing a job over on this street. Well, we'd find like the one car we found a 72 Chevelle. And see, with cars up here, our engines are good, but the bodies are all rusted. The shells are rusted because of the salt. Down like in Texas, where we worked quite a bit, the engines were shot, but the bodies were good. So that time, I think we were either in Florida or Texas. We found a 72 Chevelle that was mint. I mean, the body was perfect. Decent mileage on the odometer. The engine was just weak because of the heat. Back then we picked up the shell for like $1,500. Might not have even been that, might have been $1,000. We called his roommate at the time, had him come down with one of our pickup trucks with the car dolly, come down and pick up the Chevelle, pick it, take it back up, bring it back up to Milwaukee here, put it in my garage, because we had another 350 or 400 small block motor we put in there. So we paid $1,000 for that car. I probably picked up that other car with the good motor for $500 because the body was all shot to hell. So I got $1,500 in this car. We'd pay his roommate $300-400 to come down and get it. His dad maybe $200. So $1,500-1,700, and we put the motor in it, slap on a $1,000 paint job, and put $4,000 on it back then. I couldn't believe it. And then we're working 6-7 days a week, 12, 14, 16 hours a day through our regular job. And then we would have side jobs. I had money coming in from all different directions, and well, we're working for this company, and we always had this thing: if we finished the job on Thursday afternoon or Friday morning, we go and take the bill in. Well, if you took the bill in on Friday, you'd get that check the next week, okay? Or took it in on Thursday, you'd get it the next week. If you took it in before Wednesday, you could get it this week, but we always opted to get it the next week. They said, okay, well, this one time we get done with this job on Thursday afternoon, or almost We had to go back Friday morning to put up 2 more pieces of siding and like an 8-foot, like a 9-foot piece of fascia board, and then we're done. So we get to the job at 8 o'clock. We're done by 9, between 9 and 9:30. We write up the bill. We go to the office. You negotiate the bill because the owners always say, "Well, we don't pay for this." The bill would be for that job. A lot of times we could knock off 2 jobs, 3 jobs a week, okay? Because we worked, like I said, 7 days a week, 14, 16 hours a day. Even on the rain days. Because we did a house, went to a house that had a garage, and we'd ask, did they use it? They'd say, "Well, we do. Why? We like to keep our brake in there." "Well, yeah, okay. Why? Well, so it don't get sold. Oh, yeah, in our ladders. Yeah, okay." Well, what happened is, we say we start a job on Monday or Tuesday, whatever. We go to, we drop off the material, the equipment. We grab a step ladder and prep the job. Pull off all the molding that the shit that you don't need there, because it's going to get covered anyways. And then, so the next day we wake up, it's raining. Well, a lot of guys would take off. What we would do is go in on that rain day, go into the garage, bend everything that we need for the next day. So, we didn't make no money that day, but we didn't have to stop to bend our, our fascia, okay? So, we finished this job on Friday morning. We go and hand in the bill. The bill was for that job, which was going to be going on that next week. And we did 2 jobs that week. One job finished out at like $2,800. So that's $1,400 a piece. The job we finished on Friday, and the only reason I remember the amount on this check is because of what happened that day. Or that afternoon, or afternoon after work on Friday, that later that afternoon. So we get to the job get to the office about 9:45, 10 to 10. And the boss goes, "Oh, you're done?" "Yeah. We're here to hand in the bill." He goes, "We got another job for you." We said, "We'll get the material today. We'll start on Monday." "Why Monday?" And I said, "Because we don't start jobs on Friday. Because when we did, we'd end up in jail or something bad would happen." "Oh, okay." And I see this is going to be a long video, so I'm going to try to cut it off in about 17 minutes, and then I'll do a part 2. And this should be uploaded tomorrow, because I'm going out to a friend's house, and hopefully he'll show me how to do it, so at least I can do one video a couple days a week. Maybe 1, 2, 3 uploads a week till, like I said, till Apex, and I work out a routine here. But anyways, so we hand in the bill. Well, really, the one bill that we did earlier that week was like $2,800 and some dollars. So that'd be $1,400 a piece. This bill originally started out at like $3,700. And every time we did it, you'd say, "Oh, we don't pay for this." "Well, do you pay for it?" "Oh, yeah." "We don't pay for this." "Well, yeah, but you pay for it." "Oh, yeah. Well, they should have taken the first bill at $3,700, because they said they don't pay for this, or this, but they pay for this, and this. The bill ended up being like 38, like almost $4,000. It was like $39.90. You split that in 2. And then, so that'd be like $2,000 a piece, okay? Plus the other $1,400 from, that'd be on the next week's check. But the week before, where we're getting paid for that day, on that day, that check was, we actually knocked off 3 prefab houses, or 4 we knocked up. It was all easy work that week. We both each walked away with like $5,200, $5,300. What's funny about home improvement? I don't know how it is anymore because I haven't done it for about 18 years now. But my brother said in the mid 90s, because he started doing siding in 68, okay? So from 68 all the way through, he did home. And he didn't like roofing, he'd do it, but he stuck with his siding, and really trim is what he liked. Where I did roofing too. But anyways, what he said that was so funny is, what we were making in the 90s was exactly the same thing he was making in 69, 70. Only difference is the materials went up, but the contractors, whatever the older ones, the ones that were older than me, they were working in 68, 69, 74, 77. They were making the same money. What they were making then was the same amount of money they were taking home in the 90s. I mean, it was phenomenal. My brother, last call, was in the first three people in Milwaukee that learned how to do vinyl siding the proper way. Because the company we were working for, they'd have guys say, I don't know how to do it, this ain't working with vinyl. We'd walk into the office one day and they'd say, hey, well, his name was Mike. They'd say, Mike, go to this job here and show them how to do this. They don't know how to do that with vinyl. I'm dead serious, and the guy's a fucking genius. He was like me, he wasn't intelligent, like book smart. If I did an IQ test, I'd probably be right in the middle, maybe low, a little bit below average. But I'm actually trying to work on an IQ test for common sense. I've had a lot of people tell me, and I'm talking intelligent people, tell me if there was a test for common sense, like an IQ test for common sense, I'd be a genius. Okay? And I'm not trying to blow smoke up my ass or brag. I'm just telling you what people are saying to me. And people that have common sense, that know how to use common sense, and they aren't afraid of it, will probably agree with me. Here, there's another challenge for you. I'll tell you what. Anybody that knows what I'm talking about common sense that has it, leave a comment below. Okay, so so we, the week before, that week we made $5,200 a piece, because the check came out to be actually like 11,000, little like 11,100 and some change for the next week. But that paycheck on that day that we did collect, yeah, it was like, I think we each walked away from $5,000. The next one was going to be about $5,200 a piece, okay? But don't forget, we would try to sneak in side jobs. So we always had money. We were selling cars, and what we do is we'd work all summer long. And then, like on the weekend, we'd go to junkyard and get our auto parts. We'd go to a swap meet if we had time, if we could, we were kind of caught up on our work. We'd collect all the parts we needed, because at that time my brother was restoring a 53 Chevy pickup truck. Actually, it was a 48, but it was titled as a 53. And he was pulled over in that truck many times, okay? And if a cop would have known his trucks, he would have known that was not a 53, it was a 48. Because if you looked at the back of the truck, the one with the all fenders, the hood goes like this in the fenders, it was, that kind of style. Well, when you got to the back corner of the cab, it was solid. Okay, and then you had your little window, which we put tape on there, made a Chevy emblem, and then painted over it, and then pulled the tape off. So it actually had a Chevy emblem where you could see through it. But on those corner cabs, the 48s were solid, but the 53s had the corner glass. If a cop would have had a brain, they would have known that was the wrong title for the vehicle. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I do have to tell you, I might be down for a few days. With the way I'm got a plug nose, I think I'm getting a spring cold. One thing about me, I don't get the flu. Very seldom. I get 2 colds a year. One in spring, one in fall. And the spring one, the one right now, is one that usually lays me up for a couple of days. Last time I had the flu was in 2018. For 9 days, I was so sick I couldn't even get out of my recliner. I slept. The only time I got up was to use the bathroom. I slept. I ate in the recliner, because it just hurt too bad to walk, and I was so weak. I thought I was dying, really. And when I went to see the doctor for something else, like 2 weeks after I had the flu, I told him, I said, I thought I was dying. He goes, you probably could have died, because it was that real bad strain of flu that was around in 18. I don't know if it was all around the country, but it's here in Milwaukee or Wisconsin. It was a real bad strain. I had the flu in 18. The time before that was in 2018 was the last time. Time before that was 2014, or I'm sorry, 1984 when I was 16 years old. Was it? Yeah, 83 when I was 15, or 84 when I was 16. And the only other illness I had the beginnings of COVID last March, and I got this cough where every time you cough, the stomach hurt, the back hurt. I actually thought I had pneumonia bronchitis because the way the back hurt. 3 days before they broke out and said it was COVID, I got over it. I only had it for 3 days. And so like 6 days before they broke out on the news what it was, I caught it. 3 days before they broke it in the news, I was over it already. Believe it or not, yeah. I don't get sick off of it. When I do, I'm down for the cold. When with Apex not being here and me not having anybody really help me with this, maybe this is a good time to get the flu or a cold or whatever the hell I'm catching. But anyways, I know I want to cut this because we're already at like going at 54 minutes. So let me tell a story. Okay, we're both working for this company. Like I said, we took the building on Friday morning. Told them we'd start on Monday, but we'd get the equipment and material to the next job. No problem. That's what we reminded them. So we get the paperwork. We grabbed our checks. On the way to the wholesale, we stopped at the bank, cashed our checks. Now we're going to get the material. On the way there, last call goes, Hippie, don't we have any contracts signed? I said, yeah, we do. I said, let's get the material on the way to the next job. Stop at our house, because, last call and I always either rented a 2-bedroom apartment and we lived there together, or I'd have my own apartment, he'd have his own apartment. Plus, we had a third apartment, or another apartment for us, that we both paid. So if I was playing house with a girl, he was playing house, and one of us got kicked out, we always had a place to go. Okay? Because a lot of times, if I'd move in with with somebody and he'd move, we'd let our apartment go, but we always had another apartment. And we kind of use it for an office, party place to live. Friend, like many times we had a friend that was going through a divorce or breakup, had no place to go. Oh, go stay at this place, you know. Because fucking rent was so damn reasonable back then. On the south side of Milwaukee back then, you could rent a nice 2-bedroom, living room, kitchen, bathroom for like $2.25 a month, $2.50. I mean, it wasn't the greatest neighborhoods, but what the fuck did we care? You know, it's just a place to crash when the old ladies kick us out. The story, huh? Here. Okay, so like I said, so we go and get the material. On the way going to drop it off at the next job, we stopped at the house. I found 3 contracts. One was a big monster. I mean, it was a big one. It was a 3-story duplex. It was, yeah, the place on, one was on the first floor, second floor. They had a regular basement, but the attic was really high, so it was almost, you know, like a triplex. I mean, our 40-foot ladders would barely hit the peak of the front of the peak, you know, up here, you know. It was, you know, I said, no, we can't do that. That's just too big, because they needed siding, trim, which is soffit, fascia, and frieze, trimming the windows. They had a porch for the lower and the front, and where the, you know, then a porch above that for the second floor. On the back, there was a porch for the first floor, one for the second floor, and the one on the second floor in the back was a hanging porch. You know, it had the 4x4s, you know, like going like this. And then they had one for the attic, because they made an apartment up there, a small, like 1-bedroom apartment up in the attic. And it all had to be trimmed. Roof, soffit, fascia, frieze, siding, gutters, chimney. And the day I signed the contract, which was like 3 months before, they said if we did good, we could have the garage. We didn't want the garage. And all that was siding and trim and gutters. But we didn't want it, because we knew we were going to be on that. It was a pig, you know. It was a monster. So I said we can't do that one. But we had like one of those little prefab A-frames that needed siding and trim. My brother and I could knock that out in day to day and a half, 2 days tops. And then we had this other job that was just a ranch trim job. You know, but that prefab, like I said, was siding and trim, but it also had a 2-car garage that needed siding, the house needed siding and trim, and so did the garage. It was a 2.5-car garage. So it'd take us a day to day and a half to 2 days to knock off the whole job. You know, because we knew we were going to have Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. So he said, yeah, let's do those 2. So I called up the homeowners. They said, yeah, come on over. Because they knew that we told them, but they knew how good we were. It was worth the wait. That was another one that they waited like 2 months for, a month and a half, 2 months to get to. So that day, our Saturday, our side jobs, we would do on them, you know, we wouldn't start on Friday, but we'd start them on Saturday. Company, no. Because we made great money with the company. Well, if we're making great money working for a company, you can imagine what we're making on our own jobs. Because we're, you know, like, say, for roofing. If I sell my own job, back then, it was just the re-roof. I was selling it for, you know, say like a bungalow. Or like a regular A-frame, you know, where 1 story was an attic. I was probably selling for $1.25 a square. Okay? for a reroute. Something like that, probably $200 per vent. And there would be 4 to 8 vents. If it's 2 on each side or 4 on each side. Okay. And material back then, you could buy a decent bundle of shingles for $8 to $10 a bundle. 3 bundles to a square, $30 a square. So, you know, your nails. So I'd be making $80 a square if it was just me and my brother doing it or me doing it. But now if you're working for a company for that same job, I'd be lucky if I was making $20 a square. So with us not doing that with the company, we already made our money for the week. This was bonus money. And it was twice to 3, maybe 4 times what we're making for the company. So Saturday we go to work. We go to that prefab house. And I mean, if last call would have done it by himself or me, it would have taken 2.5, 3 days to do. We did it together, like I said, day and a half, 2 days tops. And that was with the house and the garage. So, you know, we said we'll work on that one together on Saturday, Sunday, and maybe we can hurry up and knock off that trim job real quick. Because I think that trim job was just, I think windows, and there was like maybe 28 windows, 32 windows, 34 windows. You know, it was 10 hours worth of work. So, but Saturday we go to work and we started right at like 7:30, and we pounded the shit. We made a big dent in it. I mean, we were on the way of getting the house and the garage done, being done by 10 on Sunday. Well, on Saturday. Or no, maybe we did start that job on Friday. Yeah, we did, because it was our own job. Normally we didn't do it, but we said we would do it because it was just paying good money. I mean, I overbid it by 1.5 times for, you know, than what I was normally charged. Because to tell you the truth, we didn't even want the jobs. We had so much work, but we needed something to do for those 3 days. They gave us the money, or they were willing to pay. And to top it all off, the siding and trim, we had the extras in the garage. So we didn't even have to pay for the material. We had all the material. We couldn't believe it. They wanted blue siding with white trim. Fine. We probably had 75 rolls of white trim, 50 feet. But anyways, from about 11:30 on Friday, a good friend of last calls. I didn't know him that well. I knew him, but I didn't know him that well. The only thing I knew about him is he did home improvement. He was an honest guy, good guy. If he said he'd pay you $200, you could almost guarantee he'd pay you $250, because if you did a good job, he'd throw in extra money. It was nothing to tell you he'd pay you $200 and he'd give you $4 if you made the customer really happy and got the job done like fast as we could. Yeah, you know, if he got a bonus, you'd even give more. You know, but he'd pay you out of your pocket. $200 if you do this, okay. You knock it off real quick, really good. The customer, they were great. I'm so glad you're done. I got another here. My sister needs a job, or my neighbor. That $200 would be turned into 3, 4, 5 for doing it so fast. Then another 100. So if it's 200, it give you $100 for doing knocking it off so fast and making them happy. Then give you another $100 for the referral. So I mean, because normally a lot of the guys would do that, but they would wait till they got the job. But we were so good, the neighbor or the relative or friend would want us for the fact, because they know we already did their relative or friend's house, so they know that we're good, we're quick, we're clean, we're polite. You know, like this guy we're talking about, we were doing, I think we were putting roof vents in or a chimney for him. And we were working on this house here. We're up on the roof, we had our ladders up, the whole 9 yards, we were working, knocking it all off. All of a sudden, there's an elderly lady that lived 2 doors away. And we could see she was all upset, calling for some creature. Because it wasn't like Bob, or it was like Sad Eyes or something. I don't remember the name. But I could tell, you know, last call, I could tell she was really frustrated. He goes, all of a sudden goes, Hippie, go down and see what's her problem. Maybe she got knocked down or fell or robbed or something. Because she did we did see her walk up the street to a corner store. So I walked over and I said, what's wrong? She goes, I can't find my cat. Just then I heard a meow. I'm not kidding you, this cat was up in a fucking tree. About 50 feet, but it was a pine tree. One of those real tall pine trees. Would have been a regular tree, I would have went and got the ladder. You know, and threw it up there and got the cat down. So I climbed that pine tree. I buttoned my shirt up, I get up there, you know, before I went out and started climbing, I buttoned my shirt up, I got up there, put the cat down there. I climbed down, I give her cat, happiest woman. Homeowner that we're working for, happy as hell, because everybody watched out for this lady. I'm telling you, we couldn't get out of that goddamn neighborhood. And then, you know, that lady got us a job, the homeowner got us a job, this other neighbor who seen what I did got us a job, and they were all willing to wait the 3-4 months or 2 weeks or whenever we, you know, a lot of times we couldn't even tell you. You might just get a phone call saying, hey, we can start it or we can knock it off if it's a small job. Well, we don't care, we just want you to do it. And they would even ask, do you guys do your own work or do you sub it? No, we do our own work. Oh, okay, yeah, no problem. So, you know, well, like I was saying, his friend came over and goes, Mike, I'm in the jam. Last call goes, why, what's up? He said, I fucked up. He said, I sold the garage door and an opener. Replaced the whole garage door and an opener. He said, and the people needed it done by a certain time, and I put a deadline on it. You never put a deadline because you never know what's going to happen, but he did. And he put it like for 3 weeks, because, you know, it only takes a day to do a garage door and an opener. And, but, you know, complications kept coming up. He goes, if I don't have it done, well, this is Friday. He goes, if I don't have it done by Tuesday, because what he was doing is asking Mike if he, you know, last call if he could come on Monday to help him. And this is, like I said, about 11:30, 11, something like that. And he goes, if I don't have it done by Tuesday, I don't get paid. And he put his own money out for the garage door, the opener, and all that. And last call goes, so what do you need from me? He goes, can you help me on Monday? He goes, Hippie, why don't you go and help him? Because you're good with garage doors. Because that's what I did for one summer when I was out on parole. So so I went over there and knocked out this job for him. But before I went, I said, okay, I said, yeah, I'll be done about 7, 8 o'clock. He goes, I'll be out of here by 5. I said, you want to meet at our home bar? He said, no, let's meet at this other bar, you know, our backup bar. I said, okay. Where he lived, our home bar was only 4 blocks away. The backup bar was about 14 blocks away. Yeah, about 14, 15 blocks. I said, yeah, okay. Well, he got there about 5:30. I got there about 7:45. So you gotta remember, the way the bar is, the front door is here, the back door is here. The bar goes like this, turns around like this, and there's a pole, like a support pole, right in that curve. and it goes right to the wall next to the door, and there's about, from the door frame, the molding, to the front of the bar, there's about 2 feet. So here's the bar, pool tables are back there, there's 2 going this way. There's pool table here, one here, one here. And I walked up to him, I said, what are you doing? He goes, Hippie, you ain't gonna believe this. He goes, I just took this guy for his paycheck. I said, what do you mean? He goes, came here, cash his check, why don't you pool? He said, I'm up like $835 or $865. I said, oh, well, cool. And he was done shooting. I could tell that by the time I took my first step into the door. But the guy kept coming back, going, I want more. And one more try, one. And last call had enough. He said, no. He goes, matter of fact, here's $50 back. Because what they started off was $1 a game, then went to 2, 10, 20. All of a sudden it was $50 a game, $5 a ball, double on the 8. So I know you know what that is, how that works. But what a lot of people don't realize what it works is, and this happened. You go up and you're playing $50 a game, $5 a ball, double on the 8. So if you go up and you break, you make that 8 ball, you got $50 and you don't scratch. That's a win, you get $50. But say you plus you get $10 for the 8 ball, that's 60. Well, if you break, it depends who you're shooting, what bar, whatever. Say you break, you make 3 stripes, 1 solid, okay? So that's 3 stripes, 1 solid, that's 4 balls. Well, of course, a lot of people would pick the stripes because, you already got 3 balls in and there's only 1 there, okay? So, on those kind of games, you get the $50 for the win, $10 for the 8 because it's double. You get $5 for the stripes, so that's 60. That's $90. Plus you get $5 for the solid because it's $5 per ball in that particular bar, or the way they were playing. Like I said, well, like in Wisconsin, you scratch on the 8 down here, you lose. You go up north to Peshigo, where our family's from, down here down in Milwaukee here, you get down to the 8, you say 8 ball in the corner, you make the 8, but you scratch, you just lose the game. Okay? Up north, you get down to the 8 and you say 8 ball in the corner pocket, you miss the ball, miss the 8 ball, but you scratch on the 8, even though you miss, you still lose. So it depends where you are, what bar, or who you're shooting, okay? You go up north, you run into somebody, all of a sudden they'll scratch you, see you a lot. Oh no, I don't play that. Cool, or you always ask. But this guy's going, let's shoot, one more game. Last call goes, all of a sudden he pissed the last call off, he's just like mocking him. He called him, he goes, oh, you're afraid. Like last call looked at me, he said, even if I lose, I give him $50, I still got like $800 and some dollars of his money, And that's after he gave him back $50, So, whatever. The guy wouldn't let up, and last call goes, okay, rack him, 1 more, but that's it. Win, lose, or draw, we're done. I just sat there and I went, no, he's pissed. He's going to run that fucking table. I know he is. If he makes 1 ball, he's going to run that fucking table. But, okay, the guy goes, okay, goes back, he goes, you break. Mike, last call goes up, breaks, boom, beautiful break. Just that right sound. I look, the bartender standing right in front of me, she's going, he's getting, right when he's getting ready to walk up, she walks up, he goes, he probably getting pissed. I said, yeah. I said, he's going to run the table. She goes, yeah. All of a sudden I heard the break, it made that right sound. I looked at her, I said, he just got an 8 ball. She goes, yeah, he did. He lays the stick on the table. He walks back to the bar next to me here. He grabs his beer. Just as he brings it up, he goes, next. And he takes a swig. Guy comes up behind him, hits him across the back of the head with the cue stick, or hit him. He goes down like this. The bottle hits his teeth. The bottle hits the bar, goes flying. His mouth hits the corner of the bar. I jump off the bar stool and I come down him. You know, because you got that part on the stool for your feet. I jumped up in the air, and matter of fact, my head hit the drop ceiling on like 12-foot ceiling, 14, 16, you know how high bar ceiling, those old-fashioned bars are, you know, with real high ceilings. And they brought the drop ceiling, so if it was an 18-foot ceiling, it was probably 15, 16 feet. And I jumped up so high that I remember my head touching the drop ceiling. I come down on this guy and I said, "Pop!" And I'm pounding the piss out of him while his buddies jumped on me. So I go down to my knees like this. They're pounding on my back. Well, my back was just full of muscle. I was a lot bigger than what I am now, even though I'm pretty big now. But I was a hell of a lot bigger. You know, I had arms. They're pounding on me. They could pound on me all night. And all I was doing is letting them pound on me so that last call could get up, get the hamster and wheel going. He'd get up, start pounding. I could get up and we'd clean house just like we did. About 10 minutes later, the fight's done. They're laying all over the place. Last call goes, "Come on, let's get the fuck out of here." Bartender's going, "Get out of here. Don't ever come back." I said, "We'll see you next week." Because the owner would never kick. As long as we didn't start the fight, we knew we had the witnesses that said they took the first swing. Not the money that we were spending in their bar. You know, there's no way they'd kick us out. As long as we didn't start the fight. If we came in and raised hell, then that's different. But even if the bartender said, "Oh no, the Butler boys did," we'd say talk to the customers. Even if the customer here, they say, "No, this is what happened," you know. So we cut off. My truck is parked down in the back, because the bar's in the front of the bar by the street, but you could go alongside the bar, park in the back of the parking lot, but on the hill like this. And I would always back in the back corner, facing out in case I ever had to get the fuck out of here, because there's only one way in and one way out. Last call was parked down the street, so we just jumped in his truck. And we go back to his place, about 14 blocks away. He goes in the bathroom. I went downstairs to shower and clean up. As I come up, I walk past the bathroom to go to his bedroom to get one of my shirts out of this closet. All of a sudden I hear him. He goes, "Son of a bitch." And I turn around and I said, "What's up?" He goes, "I'm missing 9 teeth. 4 up in front, 5 on the bottom." And he showed me. I'm like, "Yeah, okay." I went in the closet, got his shirt, I put it on, come on. I said, "Last call, I'll be right back." He goes, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to get some cigarettes." I had cigarettes, but I wanted to go and settle this score, and I didn't want him to know about it. He goes, "Give me a pack." I said, "Yeah, okay." I said, "Give me the keys to your truck. My truck's back at the bar." He said, "Oh, yeah." He tosses me his keys. As I walk in the bar, the bartender's going, "Out, out, out." I went over and I just pounded the piss out of all of them. Or no, I didn't. No, I'm sorry. That was a different fight. Like I told you, I blended them. I walked up and, well, there's like him, the guy, and his buddies are there. And there's a pile of teeth, about this high, you know. And I don't know why they're going through the teeth, but they're moving around. She goes, "Get the fuck out of here. You're done. You're done." I said, "I'll get out of here when the owner tells me." And I walked right to them guys, walked up. I said, "These are mine, my brother's," because I had a couple in there too. I grabbed them, I put them in my hand, I walked out. I said, "The owner," when I got to the door, I said, "The owner tells me I'm out, I'm out. If not, I'll see you next week." I jumped in his truck, I'll go back to his place. I walked into the house. He was giving my cigarettes. I said, "Yeah, but I got you the wrong brand here." He goes, "Oh, that's fine." Because back then he smoked Marlboro Lights. I think I smoked Marlboros at the time. I said, "Give me your hand." He goes, "What?" I said, "Give me your hand." He goes, "What?" I said, "Here." He goes, "What's this?" I said, "Our teeth." or your teeth or whatever. He goes right in the garbage can. It's like, so I mean, it's shit like that, and the stories do get better. I'm gonna cut this short now. Fuck, we're already at 100 hour and 20 minutes. So by the time I close this off, it'll probably be an hour and a half. But again, I wanna say sorry it's so long, but I promised you this video, and it will get better. The stories are better. I'm just warming up. The first couple stories are going to be a little bit slower to work you up, because if I go right to the big stuff, for sure you're not going to believe me. But if I show you how we grew, and you put together that I'm not that smart to make this crap up, you're going to go, it is, and you use common sense and say, yeah, I think it is true. Well, I guarantee it is. And I got the scars and the medical bills to prove it. I got the damage. So, but anyways, please, like I said, the emails again, I think I did it earlier, but I want to give out another shout out if I did, and if I didn't, I want to give a shout out to Jack Mars, because he said that we we sucked him in. He likes the videos. We got a lot of people that are saying they like the topics. Maybe they get boring. Maybe I get off the track a little bit, but a lot of them are saying they like the topics, and I will get better at this. But so please hit the like, the don't like, subscribe. Please leave comments down below. I may not answer them on the screen. Maybe I will. Like the one from Jack Mars. It wasn't in the comments down below yet. It was in the notification, and it was in the email. So it should be showing up. Maybe I will do it in the comment, but if I don't do it in the comments, I will mention it on the screen. Stick around, share us, pass us around with like a two-bit hooker. We get the sponsors. We will have contests. Like if we give the wrong answer to something or wrong advice, you call us on it, you get a free gift. We're going to plan on taking this on the road. Around the city here, and if we get big enough, we may even come to your city. We got another channel called Hippie and Apex Media Review, I believe it's called, where we review wrestling, movies, music. It might be a car show, it might be State Fair, Summerfest. If Harley ever has another anniversary here, we may review that. We might even go, like if the parade, we might be at the parade talking about it, whatever. Again, if you want to go check on Apex, go to Apex the Original. Show them your love and your support. Do me a favor, and I hope these people don't get mad or I don't wreck anything for them, but go to Mr. Ballin, John Ballin's channel. He tells 3 stories of weird, I forgot what it is, but it's really good. He tells these stories so good that when you picture it, it's like watching it. I mean, read the comments, all the comments say the same thing. Go to Wiki Witch, she's a ghost hunter. Oh my gosh, he's a ghost hunter. Michael Francis, most of you should know him. He was the mob. He was actually even mentioned in Goodfellas, and he talks about that in some of his uploads and explains how that worked and how that became. I just hope these people don't get mad, or I don't wreck. People say, "Oh, we're not going there if Hippie walks there." I hope it's none of that. I hope they appreciate what I'm trying to do for them, even though I know they don't need their help. But I love their channels. I live on YouTube. Don't forget, I'm looking for somebody to help me with loading, so I can get this more to you. because I'm hoping the more subscriptions, likes, views will attract sponsors, people that want to sponsor. If they sponsor me, then we can do more stuff for you. If you have any questions, any comments, you want to tell me to go to hell, you can tell me drop dead, put them down below, email, Twitter, Instagram, Gmail, but put them down below. I'll definitely answer. I'll try to answer the emails. I don't have a printer yet. Back before on my old videos, I had to rewrite an email. Well, I took a bunch of them and lumped them up because they were all kind of like pretty close. I could answer them all because my printer took a shit. I haven't gotten a new one yet because my desktop took a shit. Now I got this tablet that's a piece of crap. But so if I don't if you want me to reply to your remarks, comments, put them down below. You want to figure out how to contact us, go to the description. I couldn't think of that earlier. And we get sponsors. I promise you, we get enough sponsors, I will have 2 cell phone numbers. One where you can leave message, listen to the greeting and leave messages and comments. And one will be just for you to leave comments or listen to greeting. I'm not sure which way. The other one will be both. And I'm going to probably start, as I get more people, I'll probably start a club. And if you're in the club, and I'll go through the voicemails, and because only the club members will have that number, and I'll pick with somebody and I'll call back and we'll have a one-on-one conversation. Maybe we'll Skype or whatever you guys call this shit. I'm still learning this crap. I mean, I still have a flip top. I do have what I call a stupid phone. I got this phone, a stupid phone, or a smartphone, whatever you want to call it. To me, it's a piece of crap, but everybody tells me it's got the best camera on the market. Well, I hate to tell you people, I don't buy a phone for the camera, but whatever. I tried to fight this technology. I can't fight it anymore. So I'm trying to learn. So, hey, if you want to help me with this, contact me through the email, hippie.38@hotmail.com. And we'll maybe work something out. But till then, be nice, be safe. Do me a favor, help me bring common sense back. And don't forget, if we get 500 subscribers, I will tell you the story about me and my family. Share us like we're a 2-bit hooker. I don't care. Leave good comments, bad, good, bad, ugly. I don't care. It's all good. Good will help. I figure bad. I can learn from the bad and the ugly too. So be good, be safe. Hope to see you real soon. This should be uploaded tomorrow, hopefully. So until next time, ciao.